The book you'll see has a number of lessons. I did a pilot project in 2015 to 16 with 5 schools on Hawaii Island. And from that, we developed this curriculum. Hawaii Invasive Species Council funded the development of the written curriculum. There are 11 lessons. There's an overview that kind of gives you an idea of which one would you want to pick from for your students. A number of lessons and then some supplementary materials, including an evolving identification file. Every island is going to have different species. I'm not a malacologist, and sometimes it's very hard to identify slugs. And so we're going to be leaning on partners all around the state to really, really make this be a really wonderful educational project. So it's just some of the things that are kind of integral to this curriculum. I have a background in place-based, project-based learning, so this is a place-based curriculum. It's aligned with the standards. Each section you'll see, it starts with some of the standards that could be addressed. There's the learning objectives. There's reading for comprehension, which the teacher can either use that for themselves as a resource, or if it can be used in the classroom, it can be duplicated and given to the students. And then suggested learning activities. And this is again where I'm looking at teachers to say, let's really build on this. You know, I have so much respect for teachers, and I know, you know, like I have this much, and together we have a lot. And then what we're doing is we're putting together PowerPoints and videos that will accompany the lessons so that you can use those in your classrooms. All of this is available online, and the one thing I forgot to do is put the link on there, so we will get that to you. But all of the lessons are available online, and the PowerPoints and videos will be available online as well. It's so fun to do this program with the kids. I've had so much fun. It has taken something that's really kind of a horrifying rat lungworm disease and actually made it fun. I have to say it's been really, really cool to see the kids take this and see it empower them. You know, on Hawaii Island, many of the schools that I worked in, the kids had either family members or they knew people who had had rat lungworm disease, including people who worked in the school system. So it was empowering to them. They were the educators, and that's really what this is about. It's educating you teachers, to empower you to educate your students, to empower them to educate the community. In 2011, at the second International Rat Lungworm Workshop, which was held here in Honolulu, that was where I met Dr. Susan Jarvie, and that's where this all started. But at that workshop, at the end of it, we voted on a number of priorities of what we needed, what everyone in the international community here in Hawaii, in the United States, what did we need to do about rat lungworm disease? The CDC was there, the Hawaii Department of Health was there, PBARC was there, CTAR was there, UH Manoa was there, UH Hilo was there, and then we had representatives from 6 countries there. And one of the things that the Department of Health said, it's really difficult to educate rural communities. You know, they're locked gates, people speak different languages, it's hard to see if they're home. And so several of us were educators there, and we said, this would make great STEM education. Let's put it in the schools and have the kids take the information home. So it was voted on as one of the priorities, and that's what we've been working on. So in 2012, we came out with the activity book, and we've been working on grades 5. This is basically aimed at grades 5 through 8. It can be expanded, or it can go up or down, really, depending on what you want to do with it. And then we hope to move it into the high school level too. That would be our final goal, would be to bring it to a high school level. And again, these are some of the different things that you can see are all connected to it. You know, place-based education. Right now, the PDE3 workshops in Hawaii that will be happening this fall are funded through Hawaii Community Foundation through a Career Connected Learning grant. You can do the FAIR features, real-world connections on the Big Island. I'll be working up in Waimea in particular. We'll do 3 workshops, but part of the grant, the stipulation was we want almost 1/3 of that money spent in Waimea. So Waimea is one of our biggest agricultural production area. It's a cool weather crop production area. A lot of the vegetables for the state of Hawaii come from there. I was a teacher there. When I was a teacher there, The European garden snail was not there. When they were one of my partner schools in 2015, the European garden snail was everywhere. We removed over 3,000 invasive slugs and snails from that campus alone. The next highest campus was around 400. So Waimea is really, really an important area, and so there we want to have the kids interact with consumers. What are your feels, empathize, design thinking. How does this affect you? How does it affect the grocers? How does it affect the food vendors? And how does it affect the farmers? We need all that input to really start to say, what is your fears? What are your worries? What can we do? And citizen science, this is kids collecting data. This is data that's really, really crucial to figure out what's going on. This is a big problem with the disease is we don't know what variables, what factors are causing last year to have 17 cases, this year to only have a few. We don't know what species are where. We didn't know that the semi-slug was on Maui until cases started going up. If you get the kids looking and knowing what you have in the garden, you're going to notice when a new one comes in. To Kauai, that's crucial. Kauai has really low cases. Their incidence of infection in their host animals is much, much lower. We ran tissue studies off of about 200 slugs and snails sent from Kauai. It's much lower. It was probably at that level before we started having these outbreaks around the turn of the millennium. So they don't have the semi-slug yet. We need to make sure that Kauai doesn't get the semi-slug. And then this is just inclusive. It's really a fun curriculum. I think you're going to have a good time with it.